walking down a winding road. I see the sun that glows in every crack, in every stone where wildflowers grow. The whispers of the wind, they tell a tale of time. Every broken heart's a lesson dressed in quiet rhyme. Tangled heartstrings pull and tear, they guide us through the haze. Every note a melody that plays through all our days. Find the strength in every chord, the courage to let go. Life's a song we're writing slow through highs and every low. The river runs its course, it bends but never breaks, just like the choices that we make, the chances that we take. Silver thread through symphonies of sorrow and the words we've left unsaid. Tangled heartstrings pull and tear, they guide us through the haze. Every note a melody that plays through all our days. I find the strength in every chord, the courage to let go. Life's a song we're writing slow through highs and every low. Yo, it's the echoes of the past, the lessons in the cracks. We're patching up the holes in all the love we lack. Life's a dance, a crazy chance to waltz beneath the moon. Keep the rhythm steady, cause the dawn is coming soon. So take a bow and play your part, no matter how it stings. The world will turn, the tune will change, but love's what always clings. The violin, it softly cries, the stars begin to fall. Through tangled heartstrings we will rise, we'll conquer after all. Tangled heartstrings pull and tear, they guide us through the haze. Every note a melody that plays through all our days. Find the strength in every chord, the courage to let go. Life's a song we're writing slow through highs and every low.
Trying to not let my emotions overwhelm me, and sometimes I think my emotions, they like disrupt my message because I'm so emotional and passionate about everything.
I would say my biggest downfall personally is sometimes I kind of shut down and don't communicate effectively. I'll go quiet instead of trying to work through the issue, more of like a self-protection mode, if that makes sense, of trying to protect myself instead of work through the issue.
Sometimes I feel like I will get like too hung up on like a certain aspect of what we're talking about, and I kind of like cling too hard to that and lose like objectivity. So I try to not let emotion like overtake me, but sometimes it happens.
It's definitely expectation. I think I expect a certain answer when I'm communicating. Like I go into a conversation thinking about something and that I want you to say that thing and then you don't. And I'm like, well, fuck. Like,
Yeah.
where do we go from here? Yeah.
That's
so yeah, I think that's it. I've been working on it, but I think that's still the biggest downfall.
I guess just like getting in my head and like being nervous about like how it's gonna like be communicated, and I just want to be able to like say things as concisely as I can, and I just like worry that I'm not able to sometimes.
All right, guys. I know. Communication. I cannot stress this word enough, truly. It is important in every single aspect of your life. But most importantly, in our relationships with those ones that are close to us, the ones that mean the most to us. Honesty comes next. Open and honest communication helps us feel fulfilled. And then in turn, that makes us feel happy. And who doesn't want to feel happy, guys? Come on. And yes, sometimes with honest communication, our feelings can get hurt. But guess what, guys? We can grow from that. We can learn from that. Tonight, we are going to learn some new techniques on how to communicate effectively and to make our relationships work a little bit better than what they're working right now. But we are ready for this communication. We are truly ready for it. We are at a point in our lives where we don't know where to turn because guess what? We're not communicating effectively, guys. All right, welcome to Tangled Heartstrings, and let's welcome my co-hosts, TJ. Oh, wait, on this side of me, and Andrea on this side of me. Welcome in, guys. Are you guys ready to untangle some heartstrings?
Yes.
Yes.
But TJ was going to say something. That's why I stopped.
I said, of course.
Oh, I didn't hear you.
Yeah, I've got love on my mind. It'll make you laugh. It'll make you cry. And sometimes it'll have you scrolling through text at 2 a.m. trying to figure out, what they mean. You know what I mean? At least I can attest to that. I don't know about you ladies, but tonight we're going to talk about some imperfect parts of our relationships, from late night arguments to morning makeup communication on the forefront. And then we're going places where your group chat won't tell you the truth about.
Whoa, TJ, you're bringing it. I don't know. I am very excited. So we've been talking about communication since day one. We all know that is Mia's favorite word, communication. I can't even say it anymore. We've said it so many times. So I'm excited that we're actually going to dive deeper into this topic and to what that looks like and some different effective ways to communicate and how we can get our partners to communicate. So I am ready.
You're ready?
Yeah, I can't even say the word anymore. We said it so many times.
We do. We say it a lot, and we're going to use it a lot in the next few episodes because, we're coming up on this time where we're spending a lot more time with our family. We're spending a lot more time with our significant others because, hey, our partner's home more because it's cold and they're not going out and doing the fun things with their friends that they were doing. So, we're getting to this cold weather atmosphere, and This is when communication is going to be the most important. Most important. So, as I said earlier, open and honest communication is so important, especially with your partner. When we are happy and accomplishing goals together, we want to share more. But we tend to lack our communication skills when we are hitting a bump in our relationship. We kind of want to pull back. We tend to tell lies in that time. And that's where we're going to focus right now. Kind of taking those lies and not telling them anymore, just having that open and honest communication with your partner. Hey, I need to spend X amount of dollars on something because I need it. Or maybe it's a want, and hey, this new computer is going to cost me X amount of dollars. Let's not go out and buy this new computer, lie about what we spent, even if it is our own money, even if it is out of our own account, because that right there starts the lie. It starts the deception within the communication, and then you run into issues of, okay, I've already said this lie, and how am I going to cover this up? Because now I have this new thing that I wanted, but then how am I going to cover this up to continue this lie? The best way to start that conversation is being like, hey, babe, I don't know, let's say a camera. I see this new camera and it's going to be great for me to take new photos, and I'm ready to spend this money. This is how much it is. And we're not going 6 months down the road and saying, hey, I spent $150 on it. Come to find out it was $650. We don't want to lie to our partner. It starts deception, and then the communication is lacking. And the most important part about communication is being honest with each other. So why, guys, are we going to lie in the beginning? We will always start our conversations out with, hey, I want this. This is what's going to happen. And then there's no lies and deceptions. There's no little lies that we have to make bigger lies for. So open and honest communication is where we start in our relationship. If we're in a relationship and we've been in this relationship for a long time and our communication is lacking, guess what, guys? Now is the perfect time to fix it. You're going to be spending so much more time together. You're going to be able to focus on that time. But the first step to our wonderful, wonderful word communication is listening, is honestly sitting there and listening to your partner, what they have to say, their body language. We don't just listen with our ears. We listen with our eyes also. If your partner does not seem interested in what you're saying, you're going to be able to tell. You're going to get those side eyes or that bored look on their face, and you're going to be like, oh my gosh, I'm sitting here pouring my freaking heart out to you, and you're not listening to a word I'm saying. And honestly, women get pissed about this. This is one of the biggest things that is a red flag for women, is when a man is sitting there listening and he's not truly listening. And it goes both ways. Women do it to men too. And I find it weird that people aren't willing to actually listen. We give nonverbal cues, guys. I mean, you can tell when I'm bored. You can tell when I'm pissed. I can't hold that shit off my face. And a lot of women are the same way. A lot of men are the same way. You can tell when people are mad. And when you're not getting those cues, you're going to get mad. And that's just how it works. We want to be heard, we want to be seen, and we want to be recognized. So with open and honest communication and not using that listening skill we have, guys, we're not getting that true root of open and honest communication. TJ, Andrea, have you guys ever been in a situation where you're having a deep conversation with somebody and they seem like they're listening, but you can tell like their body language is a little bit off, they're playing on their phone while you're talking to them, all of those things that irritate you when you're having a conversation.
Mm-hmm. Wait, what did you say, Mia? No, I'm just kidding.
No, right?
What was that? I'll start. Yes, is the answer. That's pretty much dating these days. It's like everybody's got so much going on in their minds and their brains. I think they're just overloaded. They're always thinking about what they've got going on next. Or they're thinking about what I got to make for dinner for the kids, or what do I got to do tomorrow, or they're looking at their phone. It's like all over the place. And you can usually tell because you get a lot of the, huh? Or the, like the really short answers and stuff. And so that's why when I find somebody and meet somebody that is engaging and that is engaged in the conversation with me, it's like you actually feel heard and you feel seen by them, because it's so nice. And you can totally tell the difference when you're actually with somebody who makes the time to listen to you and actually pays attention. It's so obvious over somebody that doesn't.
I'd say for me, man, women, you ladies are the masters of body language. And I hate when a gentleman cannot read a woman's body. I mean, us guys, we talk about women's body all the time. Oh, you look so voluptuous. Oh, you look so nice. Oh, your curves are so beautiful. But you are not reading when she is telling you that she is upset. Her arms are crossed because she is upset with you. Guys, as gentlemen, we have to learn not to just itemize a woman's body. We have to learn to read them and understand what they're saying, because most of the time she's giving you that silent treatment for a reason. We'll talk a little more about that, but definitely learn how to read a woman's body. They tell you a lot without saying very little.
Very, very much. It's hard, I think, for women to, just like Mia said, like it can be all over our face, or I know if something seems off or says wrong. I mean, and like my guard goes up, you can totally tell my whole demeanor changes. I'm less friendly. I'm not as affectionate. You can totally tell.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. You can totally tell. And when you're not listening, you can look at the other person. I mean, if you decide that you're not going to listen to a conversation, really look at the other person that is actually speaking and look at their facial cues. Notice how irritated they're getting. It is something that they're not going to be able to hide because they want you to hear what they have to say. And another issue that we have is when something is brought up and it's an issue that your partner may be having with you, and let's say it's a love language issue and they're not meeting your love language. So you bring this up to them and they take what you've said and come completely defensive. And it's not their fault. It's all your fault on why they're acting the way that they're acting. And they turn it around completely on you. Guys, we can't do that. We need to stop, listen, put our feelings aside. If we become emotional or we become angry, then we need to step away from that conversation, calm down, and then come and approach it again in a calm manner. But we're not going to turn it around and be like, oh, well, I can't do this because of whatever. If it is something that is a need for your partner, you guys need to figure out how to make it happen. When it comes to wants, it's completely different. But when it is a need, a true need for your partner to feel loved, to feel wanted, to feel respected, to feel whatever they need to feel, it's important for you to set your feelings aside when your partner brings a problem to you, because you expect the same in return. So when you bring an issue to your partner, do you want them to become defensive and turn it around and turn it all into your issue and it being your fault when it was something that they did to you? So you have to think of it that way, truly. If I know growing up, it's so silly to say now because I'm older, but I've said it to my kids too. Treat others how you expect to be treated in return. It's an age-old saying. Everybody has always heard it. You want to feel wanted. You want to feel loved. You want to feel respected. You want to feel heard. And you want to communicate effectively. And you want all of those things. So why don't you expect to give those things to your partner? That's
I was truly always the bad guy in this situation.
I'm not, no, and it goes both ways. It truly does. Women are not innocent in this. Women are at fault also. It goes both ways. It's learning to communicate effectively. There are women out here that can't communicate, and TJ, I'm not ever going to try and push this all on being a man's issue, because there are women in this world that don't know how to communicate. I didn't know how to communicate for years. I will admit to that. I was the culprit. I was the bad communicator in the situation. Not that my husband was much better, but learning to communicate together, we've learned a whole lot on how it can change your going from you're ready to separate to, hey, I can't wait to marry him 100 times. It's learning effective ways to communicate. It's so important to make a relationship work.
Agreed.
Yeah, I was gonna say I was truly the bad guy, but it was bad when it was thrown back at me. When I saw it happen towards me. I mean, I always was the one to try and play with my phone, like you said, Mia, and not be engaged in a conversation. Shoot, I'd stare someone in their eyes and be thinking about completely different things. Like, I know you're saying stuff, but I'm not really listening. And when it started happening to me, I felt a certain way. I felt disheartened. I felt like the person I was talking to wasn't trustworthy. I couldn't really relate with this person. All the things of that nature. So Trusty, I think I understand, but I hope you all understand out there how necessary it is to truly be engaged in a conversation with your spouse or your loved ones.
Yeah, that's a great point, TJ. And I think also it's really important to remember a lot of the things that you're talking about, like invest in that conversation, because that is the most beautiful thing when somebody can come back the next day and be like, so how did that whole thing play out? What happened with such and such? Because it means they were actually listening and they were paying attention. And I think that's really important too.
Absolutely. And, taking that time at the end of the day with your partner, even if you don't live together, you can do this over the phone, taking that time at the end of the day with your partner and focusing on your listening skills, and ask the questions, how was your day? What happened today that, you wish you could change? Or, what was your favorite part of your day? Was there anything that I could have done today to make your life a little bit easier, or, make you feel a little bit more loved? Sometimes we have to ask those questions because our partners aren't comfortable coming to us with them. And being that listening partner and showing that you have the compassion to sit there and listen, your partner is going to be so much more comfortable to come to you with the problems and to stay away from the friends with the problems. Your partner is going to come to you for advice instead of going to the people that they've gone to before. Create that relationship, because at the end of the day, that person that you choose to be with for the rest of your life is who you're going to be with at the end of the day. Those friends are going to disappear. Your kids are going to move on. They're going to create their own families. It's going to be you and your partner, not other people making decisions for you. And if you think at the end of the day that, you don't want to spend that time with your partner, think about it. Maybe this just really isn't your person.
Mm-hmm. So I have a friend that I recently interviewed on my own podcast, and she does just that with her husband every day. She said they have scheduled time in the morning and the evening. So they get up in the morning and she'll be like on the treadmill and he's on the Peloton or something. And they talk about, for 15 minutes, they go over, what's going on in their day, how they slept, maybe what they're anxious about for the day, what they hope to happen, if there's something exciting they're looking forward to. And then in the evenings, they do a little catch up as well, and kind of like, how was your day? How did so-and-so respond to this, or how did something play out? And it just allows them to keep fully connected because their lives and schedules are so busy. It gives them that time. And so they're only required to pay attention for like 15 minutes in the morning and 15 minutes in the evening. So it makes it a lot easier if you don't want communication all day long and your partner's constantly coming to you trying to have these conversations. Maybe you need to set a certain schedule or set time for that and say, hey, why don't we have these conversations, you know, every evening before we go to bed, or let's chat on the phone, like Mia said, or, you know, in the morning, and just kind of knock it out then. I think that helps.
I will attest to that. That completely, when we started doing that, and I'll say it's probably been 5 years since we started doing that, you know, doing that late night check-in. And sometimes we forget about it because we're so tired.
Yeah,
We've had such a, you know, a hard day. But having that time where we're going to, and most of the time it's as soon as he gets home from work, because that's when the kids are still in school and we have, you know, a half an hour to an hour before the kids come home. So we have that time allotted to us where we don't have any interruptions and we can focus on, you know, hey, what's going on this week? How was your day? You know, if there were struggles at work, we can talk through those struggles together. If I'm struggling with something, hey, we can talk through that together. If I need advice or if he needs advice, we're there for each other. And then talking about the kids also, we leave that for the end when we talk about the kids, you know, what's going on with the kids, you know, where baseball is going to be this week, or what's going on with who has a dance or whatever. It's freaking homecoming season.
Yeah.
So, you know, taking that time to really focus and sit down with your partner, even if you guys don't live together, sitting down and even do a FaceTime is great. And everybody has the ability to do FaceTime, even if you don't have an Apple phone with each other and one has an Apple and one has a Samsung. Hey guys, there's Facebook, there's Discord. There are so many apps that you guys are able to get on and do a live chat call. And if you don't have time every single day, even doing a check-in at least once a week, I would suggest at least the very, very, very least once a week. Hey babe, you know, how's your week been? You know, how can we make your week next week better? And it's always we. We should never be like I, me. It should always be we and us when we're having that conversation. It should never, ever be separate. Or, you know, if you're saying your work schedule, that's different. But when you're talking about each other, you know, how can I help you? Or how can we make things work better?
Yeah, agreed. And speaking of great communication, I just want to point out that Wizzy25 is communicating with us, letting us know how great we all look today. So I think we need to acknowledge that communication right there. Thank you. Appreciate that.
Absolutely, guys. I think, you know, I think we communicate effectively as hosts. And I think that being able to communicate effectively with you guys has made this show so much easier. I've had people that have been on here in the past that I've just not been able to communicate effectively with. And, you know, it's making my job so much easier to have co-hosts that I can communicate with. So not only are we communicating effectively in our relationships, we can communicate effectively in all aspects of our life.
Ah, thanks for saying that, Mia. I love it. I think so too.
I know she's talking about me though, guys. They always tell me I don't talk on here enough.
You don't.
TJ's all right, but we love TJ for sure.
All right. When we're communicating effectively, sometimes we hit a little bit of a bump, just a little bit, because we don't know. We're a little bit afraid of what to say. And when we have issues with our partner, let's take an example of making plans for dates. We've asked our partner several times to make plans for dates because we've been the one that's planning. So, you know, we have effectively communicated that it's their turn to plan. We have effectively tried to communicate, but they weren't using their listening skills. How can we, TJ, how can we figure out how to let our partner know without feeling self-conscious about it, because we've already said this a few times. So how do you think we could go ahead and kind of make it happen?
Well, what were you asking there? Are you asking how to communicate with your
Right. So we've said this. We need our partner to go ahead. So let's use you and I as an example. I hate doing it, but I have told you several times that, hey, I've been planning dates for a while. It's your turn to plan dates, but you're not doing it. So I'm continuing, and I've just cut off, and we're not doing dates right now.
Well,
how am I supposed to approach you to get you to make that date plan?
Well, I think, the aggressive way is to straight up tell me, be straight up. I'm tired of you.
You've done that.
Yeah, you've done that. Well, there is no other way of communicating that. To be honest with you, I don't think so. I think at that point it's time to put your foot down and not plan anything else, and make them begin to wonder what's really going on. How come she's not planning things? And I think in my mind, once you stop planning things, I think that moving forward, I'm like, oh snaps! Now maybe it is my turn. Maybe I do need to take the reins on and do something better for my loved one.
So you think you would notice? You would notice that the date nights have stopped?
I would definitely notice, but also it would take a
few weeks. It would take a few weeks, right?
It would take some time.
The anger builds up, right? The anger is going to build up.
Oh, yeah.
This is how we're going to do it. This is how we're going to handle it. When you reach that week where you've set it the week before and they didn't plan, so that next week where you have decided that you need to plan, don't plan. Don't do it. Don't plan. Don't plan anything. What we're going to do is we're going to wait that week, and then we're going to turn around, and that following week, during midweek, we're going to mention, oh, wow, it's been a while since we've been out to dinner. It's been about a week and a half. But, usually we go every week. I wonder what happened. And that's all you're going to say.
I was going to say that, yeah, just remind them subtly. I mean,
we don't need to be aggressive. We don't need to get angry. We do it subtly because they're going to hear that subtle remark more than they're going to hear the anger. They're going to hear the hurt because you're like, oh, wow, we haven't been out in a week and a half. What's going on? Your demeanor is going to change. You're going to be a little bit upset about it, of course, even though you're playing them a little bit, girls. Guys, we're playing them just a little bit here because we have tried to communicate effectively. They weren't using their listening skills. So we need to take a little bit of action, and we're not going to do it in an angry way. We're not going to create a fight. We're going to avoid that fight by just subtly saying, wow, it's been a while since we've gone out to dinner. And when they ask, well, why haven't we gone? We're like, well, I did ask you to plan the next date, and you never planned it, so we didn't get to go out to dinner.
Oh, that is going to be heartbreaking.
Exactly. And honestly, ladies and gentlemen, it needs to, because you've tried the effective communication and they haven't listened. So it needs to hurt a little bit. It needs to hit the heart a little bit because your feelings have been hurt. And it's not that it's an eye for an eye. It's more of, hey, I'm trying, but where's your effort at?
Yeah, I like it.
Andrea, is that something you do also? I just need to know.
I would take a step back. That's what I was going to say. I would take a step back. If they're not going to listen for my communication, I don't want to be passive aggressive and try to be like, kind of annoying with it. But I'm just going to take a step back, and then I'm going to wait and see what happens on that Wednesday normal date night and see if they say anything. They've got to notice. And if they don't, if we've been going out every Wednesday and then all of a sudden we're just not, I think that they need to notice. And then, yeah, I would just do it and just say, Hey, you know what? It's funny. We missed our date night this week. What happened? See what he said.
You don't want to miss date night. Date night is important because, especially if you don't have that nightly check-in, date night's the perfect night to check in.
Yeah.
So, and even if it's not every week, every other week is okay too. But we're still doing those weekly check-ins. Weekly check-ins.
Mm.
We've got to get those in. All right, guys. Let's get a little bit kinky. We've had that wonderful conversation. We've had a little bit of a fight. We're in bed at night. What are we doing? Are we making up or are we going to sleep angry? Guys, we're not under any circumstances going to sleep angry. Ever, ever, ever. Even if it's after another conversation and another fight, please don't go to sleep angry. You're going to wake up angry, and the next day is going to be absolutely horrible because you're going to do the silent treatment, and then the next day you're going to continue the silent treatment, and then halfway through the day you're going to send that awful text. What the fuck?
Yes.
You're both going to be at work. You're both going to be busy. You're going to send that text, be like, what the fuck, dude? We're going to take care of that at night. We're going to a naked game night. That is the perfect thing to do after a fight. To bring something silly out after you have that fight is perfect. You're both going to laugh. Your moods are going to change, and you're both going to go to bed happy. Whether it's with a happy ending or just happy, that's all that matters.
I love it.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is time to hear what you guys, our viewers, think with our man on the street question. And once again, we were out there on those streets. Well, TJ was this week. And our second MOS question is, you and your partner just had a fight. Oh, we were just talking about this. What is the best way to reconcile?
My personal method is a hug, but I know that doesn't work for everyone. I guess sometimes just like space, 20, 30 minutes apart. Better to just like cool down, if you're heated about something, just kind of walk away. Most of the time, it's not that deep. Good hug can solve a lot of problems.
I think the best way to reconcile, I hate sitting on anything. I will not sit and stew. Like, I cannot just like go about my day. If I'm mad about something, I will have to talk about it right then and there. And my boyfriend, I don't think he's like that. Like, I think he would like to sit and think about something, but I've kind of like trained him to like talk about it with me immediately. But I think that helps because we never go to bed angry. We never, hold grudges. We just talk about it immediately.
I think kind of just like taking a break and like seeing if like we can like talk it out in a way that's not tense, or like just take a pause, kind of just say like, what do you actually mean? What do you want? Stuff like that. And actually just like break it down like that, kind of,
The best thing to do, I think, is take a second, think about what just happened, and communicate effectively. Effective communication is like the key to a healthy relationship. I know I've been in a relationship for 5 years, ongoing right now, and over that time I've realized when I don't communicate effectively, things just get harder.
The best way to kind of get on my good side again, since I'm never wrong, is, I don't know, maybe a perfume, maybe a purse, maybe like
That is
a
completely different
shopping
answer.
trip, you know, and you come with me and you remind me how much you love me the whole time, and I don't really have a budget, you know.
Okay.
Hey.
Welcome back, guys. I wanted to talk to you guys. We have all fallen victim to the tough side of relationships that people don't warn you about. You know, the awkward tension between couples, thruples, or whatever your choosing is. You know, the argument may not seem like an argument, but it really is. I'm talking about the passive aggressive battles. You know the vibes. The silent treatment that speaks louder than words, the snarky texts that cut deeper than they should. And yes, the emoji wars. When a thumbs up or an eye roll becomes a whole conversation on its own, these things might seem small, even playful at first, but they can chip away at real communication and real connection. Let us help you decode these hidden fights and learn why we use them. Ladies, what is your favorite method of choice to say you're unhappy?
Oh, you asking the wrong question, baby. I just want to tell them. I am 100% honest when I don't like something that's being done. I tell them that I don't like something that's being done. When something is said that I may not like, I let them know that I don't like it. I have a problem with holding back. I have no filter, and it all just kind of pours out of me.
I think I'm kind of the same. Maybe not as much as Mia quite. I have a half filter, but for the most part, yeah, I'm kind of the same. I just have the conversation with them. I do not like emojis. Can I say that? I don't speak emoji. I don't know if you know that, but I don't. And the fact that it has become, like you said, you can use it in a whole sentence or a whole conversation on its own. I think emojis were the worst invention because it's allowed people to be less communicative because they can just simply respond with something instead of, like when you send something really good to somebody and you're waiting, like, I don't know, like in dating, especially, you're sitting there and you're waiting, do I send it? And then you send something that you're sitting on pins and needles waiting for them to respond and they heard it. And you're like, that can't be it. There's got to be more. So I get really frustrated with that stuff. So I don't do that to say when I'm unhappy. I probably am slightly passive aggressive at times. I'm trying to be less passive and just plain old aggressive because that works better. But I don't know. It's hard. I try to communicate. That's it.
The silent treatment, I can't stand the silent treatment. My husband is famous for it because I have a mouth on me. And I tend to just keep going when I'm mad or angry. That's why I don't get mad or angry anymore. I have gotten a lot better with it. But you get that silent treatment from somebody and it just turns this switch on you.
Yeah.
And you're like, why? Why can't you tell me what's wrong? Why can't you speak your mind? I know I can speak my mind. But why can't you speak your mind? Giving somebody that silent treatment is probably one of the worst things that you can do to somebody. I don't recommend it because it turns a little problem into a huge issue. And we don't want to make huge issues, guys. We're trying to fix problems and not making them into huge issues. We don't want to do that. So giving that silent treatment doesn't accomplish anything. It makes problems worse. We need to use our communication skills and open that conversation up and be like, hey, you did this to upset me, and this is how we can fix it. when you tell somebody that you have an issue that is being presented to them, you need to also offer a solution to the problem. Hey, you haven't told me that you love me enough. This is how you can, I need to hear it this many times a day. Or, hey, you haven't bought me flowers in 6 months. I would prefer to get them every 3 months or, every week, whatever you decide. If that is something that you need to feel loved and wanted and appreciated, then you need to let your partner know. When your partner brings that to you, you need to be like, okay, yes, we can no, there is another solution to the problem. I can't do every 3 months, but maybe I can get you a card every 3 months and flowers every 6 months.
Mm-hmm.
So when you bring a problem, you should always have a solution to the problem when you are having that conversation.
I gotta say, I am a true emoji warrior. I use emojis left and right, just to get me out of conversations, to get me into conversations, to avoid so much ways. My favorite is to use the curiosity one, where he's like, because I don't understand a word you're saying, or if someone tells me something and I know it's a lie, I like to use the one with the eyeglass, and I'm like, is that true, sir? I don't think so. Or I'll use I'm famously known for using the shit emoji, because that was bullshit. But one I've recently been using is when you double tap on your phone and you can add a reaction to a message. Oh, I love using that question mark. What are you really trying to say here? Like, speak to me. Like, tell me what's going on. I mean, you guys might not use them, but I think for us,
the younger crowd, go ahead.
us younger kids, there is a conversation being held, because there's so many meanings. I mean, even so, the government is trying to decode every meaning behind every emoji, because they know that we're using it for our own thoughts and emotions now.
Yeah, and they don't like that.
I appreciate that we have made our own language, but it is also needs to be more functional for the world. I mean, it is a universal language now, but the older generations aren't understanding it.
It's not that we're not it's not that we're not understanding. It's okay, we have children, and you're above that age of being able to be a child of ours. So you don't have that aspect. We have kids that are like, ew, mom, why are you using emojis? So we have that generational gap. That's what we'll call it. And we have that generational gap of our kids are thinking that it's crazy that we're doing it. I know my youngest one is like, ew, no, mom, that's cringe. And I'm like, okay, whatever. But, and then I have my older child, because, she's 24 and my youngest is 12 now. So there's such a huge age gap that, I can use them with my 24-year-old and they don't think it's too weird, but using it with my 12-year-old is a completely different thing. So it's all on who we're using them with also.
Yeah. Now,
I was going to say there's an emoji for that.
The cringe emoji. I get that one all the time from the 12-year-old, but that's to be expected.
That's funny. I would say, and it's not that I say to never use emojis, because I'll use them for sure to get out of things. Yes, sometimes too. I just don't like it sometimes. Some people that I know, certain guys, and they're older too, and when they use it in a way that they say something passive aggressive and then they drop the little LOL on it. That frustrates me more than anything, because they're just trying to soften what they said and make it out like they're just kind of kidding, but they already said the statement. So that is even more frustrating when they do that and then they're like LOL, like they're just kidding. It's just very confusing, and sometimes I find myself, I need to get that emoji back where I'm scratching my head going, what are they meaning by this? Just say it. That's it.
Yeah,
right,
I think.
Real quick, Wizzy, I will be getting to emails tomorrow for sure. I have been super busy. We have started baseball season and we had opening day yesterday. So I have been way too busy to be able to get to the emails, but we are going to get to them this week for sure.
Yes.
I'll say Nelson said sometimes emojis can say it better than words. Honestly, I think there should be an emoji index in our phones now. I think next to the emojis, we should have like the definition of what it could mean.
Oh yeah, because sometimes I'll use the wrong emoji.
Yeah.
Oops. But I think it means something else. And they're like, no, Mom, that wasn't it. That's kind of gross.
What's the one you use most, TJ? What's your overusage emoji?
Oh, that's a great question. I think I like to use the sunglasses one just because I'm a cool guy. I just love using
self-proclaimed. You're just saying it about yourself.
Like, yeah, it's just like, hey. There we go. Here it is. Hey.
Oh, there it is. Cool emoji. I mean, I think you're right. You just
Andrea, what's your favorite emoji?
My favorite one is, well, I like the one with the little kiss to the side, but I got to be real careful about it because I don't want to mislead anybody. And that tends to happen. I don't like that on especially like the dating apps when you first start talking and they're like, okay, I got to run and do something. And they throw a kissy emoji. And I'm like, what? Like, no, because to me, that's saved for like somebody I would actually kiss. So, yeah. So I like that. I like that. The rolling of the eyes one.
Oh yeah, I use that one a lot.
Yeah, and then I do the little 2 hearts at the end of my name a lot, the pink hearts.
Oh, that's so cute.
That's pretty. Throwing it at you, Mia. What's your favorite emoji?
I like the one with like the winky eye and the tongue stuck out. That's my favorite.
I'm pretty sure I saw that today from you, Mia.
Probably. I use it all the time. And then the little kiss. I'm the one that sends the kissy face to everyone.
Oh, it's you.
Yes, I'm the one that. Oh, I love everybody, so I'm just like, yay!
I just out the huggy one or the one that's like this. You know, it just feels a little less. But you're married, so people aren't expecting.
Right.
If I send a kiss emoji, then it's kind of saying like I'm interested.
Well, I have this problem where I kind of flirt with everybody that I've been told this. I don't think I do.
Wait, are you flirting with me? She was, TJ. She was. Oh, no. Wait, I'm gonna give you the rolling of the eyes.
Oh, I can't do it.
We have emojis we can actually act out.
Oh my gosh, we're gonna have to make a show of that. Of just like emojis that we act out. Oh wow.
Definitions.
We're doing an emoji episode. I like it.
There we go.
Be our fun facts for the day.
All right, guys, we've got one more of our MOS questions. Are you guys ready for our last MOS question of the night? Ready. All right. Are you ready? This one's a good one. I really want to know what they have to say about this one. Someone posted a video of you drunk, or maybe doing something that you weren't supposed to be doing. What are your first steps? What are you gonna do?
I guess like report the post itself and then reach out if I know who the person is, reach out to them, like try and like do whatever I can to get it down and hope for the best.
My first steps are to see who posted it. If it's a close friend, I'm going to have them take it down. If it's not somebody I know, you kind of just got to live with it. Internet's forever, so once it's on there, but kind of adjust and try not to let that happen again.
As long as I'm not doing anything like egregious, I don't really mind. Is it like something bad? Like,
I mean, you didn't want to post it.
I didn't want to put. What would I do? And I don't know this person.
You don't know him. You could know him. Either way.
I mean, I'm not really even on social media, so as long as it's not like incriminating or not breaking the law, I probably wouldn't care, to be honest. Doesn't make that much of a difference to me either way.
This is not my partner. This is someone else. This is anyone.
It could be random, someone you know.
If it's my partner, I feel like I have like my previous answer relates, and I would be like take it down. Like, what are you talking about? But I also wear the pants in my relationship, so I feel like that's like it wouldn't last very long. But if it was someone that like, it was just like my friend or someone I didn't know very well, I think I'd try and have a conversation with them, but it would be very uncomfortable, and I don't know how successful I would be.
That's real. I'm a very fun drunk, so I think if my man posts me drunk, he should be worried because I'm so fun. Like, another man would want to come swipe me up. But if my friend posts me drunk, I think, I don't know, everyone would want to be friends and get drunk with me. I'm a fun drunk.
That was fun. I like those answers. Those were that one girl. She's like, "I'm a fun drunk." It's fun. I like it.
Fun drunk.
You're friends with her there.
Some photos of me, please.
I don't think you could ever catch me drunk. I think I'm too smooth with it for it.
Oh, you're too cool. You're too cool, TJ.
Yeah, when I'm drunk, I'm in a corner sitting there. So like,
Violence is not necessary, buddy. We don't need to beat anybody up for it. We have to remember that whatever we are doing, there is an opportunity for the public to take photos of us. And we have to remember that, and we can't get upset about it and choose violence over it, guys. It's important for us to know, hey, we all do stupid shit. Things happen.
Yep, exactly. So, all right, let's talk about like when your friends hear things first from you. Let's go on to that. So let's talk about something. We're all guilty of this, right? Of venting to our friend. I do this all the time. Venting to our friends about our relationship before we've even talked to our partner about it or something they've done wrong. You're already telling them because it's just tempting. They're your friend. You want to share. You want to just like have these conversations, and it's so much easier to talk to them than your partner. So I think it's safe because they are on your side, of course. But here's the thing. I say this all the time. Once you squeeze the toothpaste out of the tube, you can't put that shit back in there. It's really, really hard. And so that is the biggest thing to remember. And those words, those opinions you invite in from the outside can change the way people now see your partner going forward. Friends and family. So you have to be really careful with that. And sometimes it can change how you even see them. So that's even scarier. So before you're going to run to like a group chat, we should talk about why having the hard conversations at home first can actually save your relationship. So you guys, what is your plan of action with this? TJ and Mia, what is your plan of action when it comes to having an issue with your spouse? I know you say you talk to them a lot, but do you ever go and talk to a friend first? Sometimes just to get advice even.
I think it's important that we open up to our partner first. If we're having an issue with our partner, we open up to them first and then go to our friends after we've discussed it with our partner and we've had that chance to, get their side of it and their look on it because they see things differently than we do. Mm-hmm. So we may have this issue, but they may think that it's a non-issue. So bringing it up to them first will let them know first that, hey, this is an issue. They're going to realize it's an issue, and you guys are going to work on it together. Then you can go to your friends and be like, hey, we had this problem and this is how we worked it out. Do you think we could have done anything different? It's not a good idea to go to your friend and be like, hey, me and my boyfriend or me and my spouse just got into a fight and he called me this, and this. And instead of going to our partner and saying, hey, what you just said to me hurt my feelings, we're going to our friends and we're inviting them in to our relationship by telling them that they have said these bad things about us. And then they're going to create this image of your spouse, of these bad things that your spouse or your partner have said about you, whether it be your boyfriend, your life partner, or somebody that you've just started dating. It's going to create a problem because then you're going to keep going back to this friend group and you're going to keep telling them things, and they're not going to like your partner.
Yeah.
They're going to have this horrible image of the person that you love and you want to be with. You've just had a few issues that you've actually worked through. But they still have this image that he called you this, and this, or she called you this, and this. And they still have that image that you created for them, not meaning to create it, just going for advice. So I don't think it's ever really a good idea to start with your friends. I think you should start with your partner.
Yeah.
Well, for me, I don't go to friends unless you want to call my mama my friend. Yes, I still talk.
Oh, that's a whole nother issue, boy. Go ahead.
Mama Cash.
I still talk to my friends eventually about it, but that's not sometime until after maybe like a month where we're meeting up somewhere to have a drink at a bar. We'll talk about it. I'll be like, oh yeah, I remember this happened and that happened. But I'd also give my resolution to how we worked it out. My first thing, like Mia said, is to speak with someone. I mean, to speak with my spouse about how I feel, because that person ultimately is the person whose opinions matter the most. Depending on where we are in the situation, we could be at the dating level or the married level or far beyond that. But I definitely will go to my spouse first and let them know how I'm feeling, because they are ultimately the one who caused it and ultimately the one who can fix it.
No, I think that's really good. I think for me, I don't know why. I just have such trust and faith in my friend. Well, I know why, but I have such trust and faith. I tend to look to them a lot for their advice. And sometimes it is to the demise of the relationship, because exactly what you said, now they know all of these things about you, and you can't go back now and be like, oh no, but he's really a great guy. Just ignore everything that I said before. You can't do that. And so I've had to really rethink things that I'm going to tell certain people. And I may choose to say things to one but not another, or to my mom and not my friend, because I know that your mom is going to be there no matter what you decide. They're going to support you, whereas your friend may be a little bit tougher on you that way. So I think you just have to be really careful who you choose to say what to, and then you got to be prepared for the consequences once it's told. And I've often used kind of like with my kids, I don't tell my kids stuff until I'm like certain I'm done with something. So if I'm knowing I need to get out of something and I'm struggling maybe to get out of that, then my resolve is to share that with my kids and say, listen, these are the things that happened, because that's going to hold me accountable and not allow me to go back to that person. So it's kind of that same idea when you're thinking of talking to your friends about someone. You just have to be really careful with that.
I got to say, I've always been weary of friends because of the movies. The film industry has corrupted my mind completely. But it's always that one friend that you go tell that may end up with your partner later, and then you're like, what the fuck? You told me to break up with them so that you could get with them? Excuse me? I didn't like that. Now you like it?
This has happened? Or in the movies?
It has. So it's happened in the films, but never to me as a person. Okay. Eventually, like, I've been like far removed from a situation, say like 4 or 5 years, and I've completely been with another partner that has done better. Then my friend might come up and be like, hey, this so and so that you're talking to, they reached out to me. I've had that happen before, but it was never like we ended on bad terms. We just had mutual disagreements that weren't going to work out.
But speaking of that, are you in the whole? I'm going to digress here a little bit. The whole bro code thing, like if somebody did that to you, what if you went out with a girl and you're just like, she's just not for me. I just don't feel in a vibe, and then later you find out she's going out with a friend. Do you have an issue with that?
See, I don't have an issue if it's not soon. Like if it was tomorrow. Yeah. Oh yeah, we got a fucking issue.
You would like her. She wasn't for you at all, but now that.
But yeah, I maybe there is still some feelings there that I haven't surfaced yet.
I can have her, nobody will.
Yeah, but
that's weird to me. Like if I'm friends with somebody and they've been dating somebody, I don't know that I could ever date that person that they've dated, because what if they did confide in me and all of these bad things? Like it would create that image of that person, and I wouldn't want to be with them.
Yeah. I think that was my hesitation about it, just because I never, like, I saw what you did to my friend, and I don't want that to happen to me. So that's why I was saying to give it some time at least to settle, let the air clear before you actually go and introduce yourself to this person and start dating them. That's too weird.
I have a pretty close girlfriend who this is back, she's married now, but before, when she was single, we're the same age, we're the same height, we're within a 20-mile radius of each other, and so we were both on the dating sites, and I was on long before she was. So then when she joined, I pretty much already taken up that pool. And so she was getting like mad about it, because she's like, anyone, she'd kind of go, oh, I'm talking to this guy, and she'd show me a picture. And it's not that I went out with them or anything, but maybe I talked to them or I had a bad vibe or something. And I'm like, oh, let me tell you about him. Let me tell you about that. And she kind of got really frustrated with that. And it made me really think about that. Like, would I be upset if that was the other way around? Probably, because it's just that it's how we are with ourselves, right? We want to think that we're the only ones that person could be interested in. And so then if they're interested in her, you're kind of like, oh, that kind of sucks. But it was really interesting to see how that played out. It's very difficult to navigate when you have, friends interested in the same people or that are very similar, and you have to figure out how to communicate about that. And I don't know, does communication just work? Does it work if you just have that conversation, say, hey, I'm a little uncomfortable with you dating them so soon, but maybe down the road I'd be okay with that. And then they're like, ooh, okay, we've got a week.
Yeah, I experienced that also, and I just chose to not tell my friends anymore. Like if I was to match with someone and I didn't like them, we all have our own opinion about certain people. I just was like, oh, she looks nice. Okay, that's cool. Like I chose not to be like, oh, I went out with this person so that you never need to know about them. I'm going to tell you everything.
I'm like, oh, he had a big, and
yeah, I realized that people were like getting offended by it, because it was just like it started becoming like a well-known. Well, I'm not going to say well-known, but a thing where they were like, oh, TJ's already talked to her. Like, I'm not going to talk to her, and I was just like, okay, like this is your life. Let me live my life.
Yeah. But it does kind of suck if you really, there's another person that is so meant for that person, right? Because you could be attracted to somebody and you're like, oh, they're so hot, I want to go out with them. And then you don't mesh at all. There's no chemistry, there's no connection. Well, then why does that person have to be taken off the market to anybody? Because you might be like, oh, she might be awesome for my friend Doug, And then you're like, Doug's like, hell yeah. But then is there a weirdness there, or is it cool because you're like, you know what? You guys are so well matched together. That makes sense. So sometimes it just makes sense, doesn't it? Doug?
I think that's a great idea. I think it becomes an insecurity within yourself when you get offended when your friend wants to date somebody that you've dated before.
Yeah. And maybe it happens with how long they dated.
Right. You've dated this person. You've realized, hey, this person is not my person.
Mm-hmm.
Why take the opportunity for that person to be unhappy and not be able to meet their person just because that might be one of your friends?
Right.
That's taking away somebody's happiness, and that's not what we're here to do. We're here to be happy and let others be happy also. We don't want to create that vibe of, oh, I dated them, so gosh, you can't date them either.
Yeah.
Like, I get it. It's weird because you were in this relationship, maybe it was long term.
Yeah.
And then 6 months down the road or 2 weeks down the road, your friend Doug, your friend Doug starts dating her or him, or Sally starts dating him, whatever.
God,
why are we really offended by it? Are we offended because we think that Sally or Doug are better than us? Because that's not the case. Nobody's better than you.
Yeah.
You just have different aspirations and different dreams than what this person was able to provide for you.
Yeah.
I think we should make a rule. I think we should make a rule on the time frame of how long you dated someone. Hear me out. I'm saying if you went on one date with them, you should not claim that you dated them.
Exactly.
I think three or more dates, then you're like, okay, I dated them. But if you went on one date with them and found out that you did not like that person, I think then you can leave them off the list of names of people that you name to other people.
What if you had sex with them on the first date?
Well, that's your choice. If sex is gay, admit it.
As long as it is safe, we are all adults and we can make our own decisions. I don't ever think that it is a bad idea to have sex on the first date, because I call that
a test run.
A test run. I was trying to think of a better word, TJ.
A sex run.
It's a test run because, if we have to be sexually compatible with the person that we're going to be. There are people out here that are asexual and sex does not matter to them, but for the majority of the human race, sex, it plays a big part in our lives. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people think it's taboo and that it's not okay or whatever the case may be. Sex is fine. Sex is important. It makes us feel fulfilled. And we need to be a little bit more comfortable with it, more comfortable speaking about it. Because, hey, we all need to get off at some point. I like to do it 3 or 4 times a day, but I mean, other people like to do it less. Other people like to do it more. But sex plays a big part in it. So having sex on the first date is not a bad thing. It's finding out if you're actually going to be compatible with this person. Is it worth the second date? Are we going to be compatible? Is it going to be worth that second date for me to create that emotional and mental relationship with somebody? Because if the sex isn't there later on, it's going to cause problems in the relationship.
I can't imagine waiting for marriage. And I'm a Christian, but I cannot. No way. I was adamant on, and I'll be completely honest with you. I've only ever had sex with one man. And I know it's surprising, and I have all of this sex advice, but it's all been with this one man. So, me giving this advice for you to go out and have sex on the first date, I've never done that. I've never had here. Now, going out on a date and having sex, yes, I've had that opportunity. But to do it on a first date, no, I didn't have that opportunity. I was adamant on, hey, I'm saving myself for marriage. This is the life that I want to live. I will not have sex. And then I met my husband. And, we dated for 6 months before I would let him touch me. Because I wasn't having sex until I was married. And I was going to die on that hill. And, one night I decided, I was like, you know what, this is going to work out. And we did it. And a few months later, I ended up pregnant. And we are here almost at 20 years.
But we were engaged before I got pregnant. Thank you very much.
I can't say the same for me, so I'm not one to talk.
You know, me giving this advice for you guys to go out and have sex on the first date is you don't want to be incompatible with your partner.
Yeah. I just don't like the way it makes me feel after. I'll be honest, but like just like having it, like it just kind of because then you know, for us women, all our hormones are raging, the serotonin is going, our oxytocins, all of that stuff is like, so all of a sudden we have feelings now, and then you're like, oh, this guy is so great, and then he doesn't call you or something, and then it just really screws with you. And so it's like, if you just wait a little bit, because unfortunately a lot of guys, and there are girls out there that are all about one thing, and once they get that, then they want to move on. So I condone waiting a little bit till you kind of have a connection. And I think the sex is so much greater anyways once you've built that connection with somebody over a little period of time. I'm not saying wait till marriage. I'm not even saying wait 3 months. I'm just saying, but if you want to have sex on the first date, that's fine.
Everybody, but I don't want people to feel like, oh my gosh, I had sex on the first date, I'm nasty. That's not the case.
Not nasty.
Everybody has feelings, and this is the issue that women have. And I agree with you 100%. When it comes to sex, we automatically think it's an emotional connection.
Totally.
What we need to do as women is shut that off.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
yes. But if we're going to be out here looking for our partner and we're willing to do that sex on the first date and we're willing to find that sexually compatible partner, we have to be able to shut that emotional connection off and be like, hey, are we, you know, the chemistry's there, but we're not going to create this emotional connection because we're trying to find a partner we're compatible with.
Yeah.
Sexually first. And then moving on to the emotional part. Sometimes we find somebody that we're sexually compatible with, and the emotional part is never going to be there.
Yes.
It just happens that way, guys. And it's okay. It's okay to move on. It's not okay to be unhappy in a relationship, because guess what, guys? Your happiness is the only one that you are responsible for. Yeah. And your happiness is the only one that you need to worry about. Yes, we can enhance our partner's happiness, but we don't have to. That's a choice that we make.
Yep.
So, I gotta say to the gentleman, I know most of us are like, yes, sex on the first date, but we cannot lie to these women. We cannot let them believe that we're having the sex on the first date because we want, you know, something long term. We have to be upfront. I mean, if she wants to have sex with you on the first date, she'll do it, regardless of you wanting to be in a relationship or not. If she wants to, she will do it. She'll look at you in your eyes and tell you straight up, I want to fuck you. But you got to be willing to be honest with yourself enough to let these women know that I'm just out here having fun. I'm here for a one and done, and that's it. Be honest about it. Leave them alone.
Yeah, and that's the thing, though. A lot of them don't. I was just talking to somebody, I can't remember who I was talking to about this, and we were saying about on the dating sites, a lot of them are putting, when they're asking for like what they're looking for, some say just casual fun time. They might say intimacy without commitment, but they throw it off because they might put both of those and then they'll put long-term relationship right under it.
But then, honestly, they're probably looking for all of that. They're going to start off with that fun, casual relationship, or maybe that one night stand.
Giving them too much credit. Yeah, I don't think
looking for that long-term relationship within those.
I don't know. Well, this person I was talking to, or I must have read about it or something, and she was upset about it because then it was like they had sex right off the bat. And then he kind of was like, he wasn't very responsive and getting back with her. And she was like, we're in a relationship. We're going on a long-term relationship, you know? And then somebody commented.
And here's the issue with that. We as humans expect others to meet our needs without expressing our needs first. So if we're not expressing that, and we're not saying that to them, even though they're not opening up to us, we need to be responsible for ourselves and open up to them and be like, hey, you know, I don't want this casual one night stand. I want this to be long term. And if this is what you're looking for, then the date can end right here. We need to be honest with ourselves and honest with the people that we're with.
Yeah.
If we're not using honesty and we're not communicating our needs, how are they supposed to know them? We're not mind readers as human beings. And expecting something from somebody always ends up making you look like an ass.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I try to tell. I say it all the time to my kids. When you expect something from somebody without telling them first, you're not going to get the result that you expect.
Yep. Yep. Exactly.
I wanted to point this out a little bit really quickly before we move on. But Andrea, you said that men usually have the 3. And I want to say, I think sometimes men are actually looking for the 3.
Yeah.
There are some men out there that want that overly obsessive woman that, we had such great sex, like, please stay around, keep me in the loop. Like, we want that sometimes. But then sometimes we're like, I want that girl that doesn't really want me after we've had sex. There's other guys that are like, no, I don't want to have sex, but I want to lead you on to think that we are going to have sex and see how far you're willing to wait. So that's why I think there are some guys that usually use all 3 because they really don't know what they want.
Yes.
But whatever works out for them.
Yeah, I get that. It's frustrating sometimes when you think, and especially because if I see that casual or intimacy with no commitment, I swipe left and like, no, because I'm not, like, to me, hookups are easy, right? Like, finding somebody to have sex with is pretty easy for the most part, right? It's finding the connection and the chemistry that's hard. So my time, like, looking, swiping right on the ones that just want casual sex, it's like, for me, that's just not even worth my time at this point.
And so you know what you want, so you're willing. And I think you, Andrea, will definitely be the one that is communicating exactly what you want, so that way you're not having that "I expect something" attitude. You're not going to have to expect it because it's just going to be there because you're going to be able to communicate effectively with whoever you're seeking to date. You don't want that one night stand, so you're not going to look for that one night stand.
Yeah.
You're going to look past that and make sure that you're letting this person that you're going to date know that, hey, I'm looking for long term. If that's not what you're looking for, then, it's a waste of time for both of us.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's move on real quick because we're about to finish out here, but let's talk about when you are sending little nudie photos to people that you're not committed to. TJ, I don't know why you are looking guilty as fuck right now. But, it's hard because in the heat of the moment, you want to send that flirty photo. And it can feel like you're going to spark something. It's very exciting, right? Like, and you trust this person. But here's the truth. Once you hit send, oh my God, you cannot get that back. And then you lose control and you start freaking out, right? Because now who is going to see it? Who are they going to show that to? Or how is it going to be used later? And so unless you're in a fully committed, deeply trusting relationship where this person has your back, they are taking that photo to the grave, then really you have to think twice about handing some piece of your vulnerability that can't be taken back, your body. You're showing all of this stuff. And why should they get that when you're not even committed? Why give them, what's that saying? They want the cow, and why take the cow when they can get the milk for free? Don't give them the milk. Keep your milk. That's what I'd say. Protect yourself.
Right? Exactly.
Yeah, I know what you're about to say.
Right. We live in this world.
I'm going to say I don't send nudes at all. So I am bowing out on this one, but I'm not that person. I don't send nudes at all.
Good job. Nia.
I'm very confident in myself and I'm willing to do that. I'm willing to send the nudes. But we live in this world full of technology.
Yeah.
And we forget how advanced it actually is. We forget that once we send that photo, even if it is just to our partner, are we sending it encrypted? Are we sending it non-encrypted? If we're sending it non-encrypted, anybody's going to be able to pick that up. Anybody that hacks the phone.
Yeah.
The ability that hackers have, if you're sending it through email or anything, if you don't want your photo out there, don't send it to anyone. Just don't take it, period. because if your phone gets hacked, it's going to be out there. If you are not a comfortable person with yourself and you are going to get upset if that photo gets leaked or that video gets leaked, don't send it. Don't take it, because once the photo is taken, it's out there. You don't have a choice about it. With the technology that we have today, it is on your cloud. It is on your phone. As soon as you do it, as soon as you send it, it is on your partner's cloud. It is on your partner's phone.
And
it is on
to others. You don't know who they are showing it to.
Who's looking over their shoulder on the bus, on public transportation.
I am so glad you said that.
You
Please
know,
be careful. Make sure you're not on the cloud.
I have a security screen on my phone. You have to be looking at it straight on. I am so secure with everything that I do because of what I do.
Yeah.
So, I know all of the things that can happen. And since I've learned these things, I've been able to update my equipment so where it's, not going to get leaked, so to say. I'm going to be the one leaking it, so to say. But exactly. So once you take that photo or that video, it's there. Whether we want it out there or not, it's on the cloud. It's on other people's phones. People are looking at it over shoulders, and you're not even realizing that these things are happening. So if you don't want your photo out there, guys, don't take it. Just put the phone away while crazy things are happening.
Yeah.
One reminder to that is that if you have children, please make sure you're not on the family cloud.
No, we don't have family cloud. We don't have family accounts. All of my kids have their own accounts, Amazon, all of that.
Yes.
We don't share anything in my household at all.
Except a meal. That's it. A meal.
Yeah, we share the meal. That's it. And the chores, because mama's no slave.
There you go.
All right, guys, this has been an amazing week, and we are going to continue next week with some more communication and lots more to go over next week. So go ahead and come back next Sunday at 9:30 p.m. right where you are viewing us now. And until then, go ahead and send some love out into this world, guys, because we all need to do that.
Yes. Bye.
Found in the light of day. The violin sings as the credits roll. A melody soft, it soothes the soul. Tangled heartstrings, we'll find our way through life and love, come what may.